Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we are in store for a treat. We have an awesome special guest who's going to be sharing an amazing message on 5 simple steps to more financial success. And can't wait to let you know who she is. I want you to give her a warm welcome. Before sharing with you who she is and giving her a welcome, I want to let you know what is the purpose of the show. The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony, because it's really two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life, and it is 100% possible to work smarter, stress less, strengthen our relationships, lead with much more energy and ease and momentum so that we can increase our confidence, our calm, and our cash flow with ease and grace. Yes, yes, and yes. Wendy, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence here today. We're so happy that you're here today to share your wisdom.
Well, thank you for having me, Heather. This is going to be awesome. I love the whole premise of your show. That's fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. It is really, it's really about creating freedom for all. That this beauty of entrepreneurship is that it creates this prosperity, this freedom that is accessible to anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, where you've been, what you've done. There's this beauty of stepping into whatever that unique soul plan, and entrepreneurship leads to freedom. So we're just so grateful to have you here. And I want to let them know, who are you, right? Okay, let me tell them who you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet Wendy, the Financial Lyon. She is amazing and incredible. She has been making her clients' financial futures fabulous for 2 decades. She turns clients into multi-millionaires and even grew 10,000 more into more than $1 billion for her 2 grandchildren, making their future more amazing than their grandma ever thought was possible. And she is also the host of a TV show, podcast, radio show called Wealth and Wisdom. She's inspiring her audience to heal, to grow, to thrive, so they can enjoy true wealth in life, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. Wendy is also a international keynote speaker and author, and she's listed in international who's of female executives and was even awarded Outstanding Women of Leadership Award by the Women's International Leadership Association. Wow, Wendy, what amazing accomplishments that you have just done and achieved, and being that light and that impact of helping everyone with their financial future. So thankful for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. I do have to correct you. I wasn't the grandmother. It was a client that was the grandmother, and it was her 2 grandchildren. Her son passed away. And so she had $10,000 each for the 2 grandchildren. And they're little. They were 2 and 6 years old. And thanks to the time value of money, the 10,000, it actually grows into 2.3 billion for the 2-year-old and 2.1 billion for the 6-year-old. But I figure saying it's over $1 billion is mind blowing enough. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. Set up for success, and all they have to do is just grow and enjoy life and step into I would love that for every single child in the world.
Right. Well, on the news today, they were saying they want to propose what's called Invest America. And every child that's born gets $1,000 loan from the government, and they can't touch it until they're 18. But this way, every child will be like watching the market and be vested. And, maybe they won't end up in gangs and things like that because they're like, I've got this wealth building for my future. And we're going to raise a whole generation of wealthy, financially literate kids. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh my goodness, that would be so awesome. And it's beautiful
Wouldn't it?
because then it's like they're already starting off owning and knowing that they're prosperous already.
Yes. Yes. And growing
So
up
much
knowing
freedom to
what to
that.
do with money and how to handle money. And investing in America and watching the markets and being like, hey, my investment fund's up today, woohoo, you know. So yeah, what a brilliant idea.
And then that $1,000 will grow. Who knows what it could
Oh yeah,
be by the time they're
yes,
18. Oh, so
yeah,
good. Oh my goodness. I would love a yes. Yes, that sounds like a great idea. I really
doesn't
feel
it?
like we need to implement that like tomorrow.
Yes, 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 exactly. Today, we need to implement it
Today.
today.
Today. Well, my
Yes.
first question, I really want to know, tell us, why is this topic of steps towards financial success? Why is this something that's so important, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs?
Well, you know what? These steps not only apply to businesses, but they also apply personally. But, you know, the more successful you are as an entrepreneur, the more successful your business is going to be, right? So these are just 5 simple steps that you can enact today, and they won't cost you anything. Well, a couple of them might, but they're just very simple. You know, I think the world at large in general thinks that finances are so complex, and you know, I don't understand what my CPA is talking about, or my investment advisor, or whatever it might be. And so I really like to take the world of finance and just make it as simple as possible, because once you get it, you get it, and now you're off to the races. You know what I mean? Now you're empowered and you have the ability to make those financial decisions and to prosper and thrive, and like you said, have a successful life.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I love that. It takes what was coming to me as you were talking is it also takes the pressure off. So
Yeah.
many, especially the entrepreneurs, we get so busy and wrapped up in the stress or the overwhelm of an uncertainty of what the financial picture looks like. But what you're sharing with us in a few moments is going to allow us to be able to relax and own the possibility of that expansion and that victory that's already ours, and how to be able to step into that. So yay, yay. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Put some hearts and some comments in the chat if you're ready to hear these secrets. I know I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, and they're very simple, so it might surprise you, but you know, if you follow these, you'll be wealthier than 95% of the people in the world.
Okay.
95%.
Okay,
You
let's
have
hear
to
the
think
first
there's
one.
people in the world, like if you have spare change sitting around, you're wealthier than billions of people in the world already. So if you follow these, you'll be way better off.
Oh, we're gonna be
Or-
totally Gucci after this conversation for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yes. And I do these too. So I never tell anyone to do something that I don't do, or to have a financial vehicle that I don't have, because I walk the walk. I don't just talk the talk. So I'm a living example of what I practice. I preach, or I practice what I preach is what I'm
Practice
trying
what
to
I
say.
preach.
Yes.
You-
Yes.
All right, well,
Yes.
let's hear these secrets. What is the first step? What is the first simple step? Let's hear these steps.
Okay. So the first step is to protect yourself. What people need to understand is that you are your most valuable asset. It's your ability to go out and earn an income that first and foremost needs to be protected. So I learned this the hard way. And I was widowed when I was young. My husband died in a motorcycle accident when he was only 24. We had 2 little girls, 1 and 3 years old. And he had a 6 month term policy that was, you know, like you get it free from your employer. And it represented 6 months of his annual salary. Well, the life insurance policy was for $20,000. Now, if I knew then what I know now, I could have done for my children what I did for my clients' grandkids, right? But you don't know what you don't know, and what you don't know will hurt you. So if he was making $40,000 a year back then, because the life insurance was only $20,000, how long do you think that lasted, right? So for easy math, and anyone can calculate this, this is how you know how much life insurance you would qualify for. And it's called your human economic life value. So what you do is you simply take what you make per year and multiply it until the number of years until you retire. So if my husband was making $40,000 a year back then, just for easy math, say he was going to retire at 64, 40 years times $40,000 is $1.6 million. And that doesn't include raises or bonuses, or if you got a higher paying job or whatever. That was the economic impact on our life. So the whole purpose of insurance is you're transferring the risk to the insurance company. So if you have the cancer diagnosis or the disability or God forbid the death, you have insurance in place to make you whole again. That's the purpose of it, is to indemnify or to make you whole as if the cancer diagnosis or the disability or the death did not occur, at least financially, right? You'll still be
Nice.
heartbroken or in pain or whatever it might be, but at least you're whole financially. And in life, if you have your money in the market goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, but you can recoup your losses after, however much time it might take. But in this area of life, there are no do-overs. So, and I tell people it's so funny that if you own a home, you have to have homeowners insurance in case your house burns down. If you drive a car, you have to have car insurance in case you get in an accident. Well, we're all going to die. So I don't know why life insurance isn't mandatory, because we could literally end poverty in one generation in this country if
A- And you
every
know what's
parent was had
interesting
life.
too is that when we do have that protection of yourself and take that action of getting life insurance, then immediately your net value and net worth goes up, right? Like,
Yes.
you're
Yes.
essentially worth one point blank million dollars.
Yes.
Um, that's awesome.
Well, and the other thing is people think life insurance is only good if you die, but there's permanent life insurance where you can put money into that policy and it grows in cash value throughout your life. And unlike a 401k or IRA where you can't access the money until you're 59 and a half without getting a 10% penalty slapped on you by the government, you can access this cash throughout your whole entire life. I have one client that was putting her money into a 529 plan for her kids. And a 529 plan is very limited. So you can only use it for educational expenses. Well, what if your kid needs a car or an apartment, off the university campus or whatever it might be? So she's putting 500 a month for each kid into this policy, and she's going to pay into it till they're 21. And she'll put in 148,000. Remember, it's for 21 years at 500 a month. But that 148,000 turns into $37 million thanks to the time value of money. And but her kid doesn't need 37
Nice.
million dollars, right? So they'll fund the college, it'll fund the parents' retirement, it'll replenish itself and fund the kids' retirement, and they'll still have millions of dollars in legacy to leave to their grandchild that's not even born yet. So that's
My
what life insurance
goodness.
can do. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. But the Dave Ramseys and the Susie Ormans of this world always say, just buy term and invest the difference. And it's like, if you put your money into a permanent life insurance policy, you are investing that money in growth. You know what I mean? We can't call it an investment because it's not, but it's awesome. I wrapped all of my grandchildren in permanent life insurance and just a little $25 a month payment that we make, and they'll have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their future.
My
If
goodness,
they,
so
they can buy a
great.
car, they can put a down payment on a house, all from just a little bit.
I
So
love that. Okay,
yeah,
perfect. So it's not even just protecting yourself, it's protecting yourself and your legacy.
yeah. And if you want to have a nice tax-free retirement in the future and not worry about what taxes are, because all of this money is tax-free, it's a great way to supplement. It's like creating another Social Security check for yourself, but it's all
I
tax-free.
love that.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So that's
yeah.
the first simple step. What's the
Yes.
next one?
Okay, so the next one is to pay yourself first. And this is really important because especially as entrepreneurs, you're like, oh, I have to pay this expense. I got to pay my team. I got to keep, the roof go, pay the rent for my office or, whatever it might be. But if you don't pay yourself first of all, who will? Number one. And why do you want to do that? It's because you want that cushion. because if you have some unexpected expense, you don't want to go have to throw it on a credit card where the interest rates are as high as like 29% now, where you're paying almost a third of every dollar that you pay on that debt is going just towards interest. So you want to pay yourself first and have that cushion. And when you have that in place, trust and believe you're going to have more peace of mind. You're not going to worry about, oh my gosh, is the car going to break down? Or, we need a new printer in the office, whatever it might be. You have that cushion. So that goes personally and professionally. You need to do that. And what
I
I really
love it.
recommend that we
What?
do is we live by the 10-10-80 rule. And we give the first 10% away, and then we save 10% and we live on 80. And some people might go, I can't live on 100%.
Okay,
How the
wait a minute.
heck am
Wait,
I
wait.
ever
I
going to do
gotta hold
that?
on because that totally shifted everything. So you give 10% away.
Yep. Because
You
that first 10%, if you give that away, it's the law of reciprocity. That 10% will come back to you multiplied, multiplied. Once I learned that principle, and I didn't learn that till I was in my 30s, nobody ever told me about it. I have never lacked for anything. Even in the hardest, leanest times, I have never lacked for anything.
nice. Okay, so
So, yeah.
10% giveaway. What was the other
And then
10%?
save 10,
Save
give
10,
10, save 10, live on 80.
live on 80.
And if you
Nice.
can't do that, try to work your way up to it. Try to give away 3%, save 3%. You know what I mean? Until you start to see the results of that law of reciprocity, where the money that you give away is coming back to you.
Wow, Wendy, that is so great. Okay, so we got protect yourself, pay yourself first. What's step three? This is so
Okay, so
good,
number
y'all.
three, I'm going to say the B word. I'm going to say
Okay.
the budget word. You can call it a monthly cash flow. You can call it whatever floats your boat. But the third one is you want to create a budget and live within your means. What you track grows, and what you track and report grows exponentially. So imagine sitting around with your team members or your family, and you create a budget and you're like, here's our income, here's our expenses, here's where our money's going. And then oftentimes what people realize is, oh, I didn't know we were spending $800 a month eating out. Well, maybe we could cut back on that and save some of that money or invest some of that money and grow it. You know what I mean? But you're never
So
going to know
good.
that until you see it on paper or on your computer,
You gotta
in
put it
black
on
and white.
paper. You can't keep it in your head. It's gotta get out so you can
No,
see it.
no. Yeah, you've got to put it down. And plus, when you do that and you put down your financial goals, if you write down your goals, they have a 90% better chance of coming to fruition.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, I
Yes.
love that. Well, and a side note, what would you tell someone who would say, "Oh, well, I'll just keep it all in my head." Like,
No, no, no. Get it out of your head and down on paper, and then use your head for more creative ways to expand your business.
oh my genius. Genius. So good. So good.
You're
Okay,
so
so we
funny.
I love that too because a lot of times, especially in entrepreneurship, when we got so many things, like we're not just one, or we can be the bookkeeper. As a solopreneur, you can wear many hats until you
Oh
figure out
yeah.
how to do a team. So
Yeah.
whatever we can take out of our head, and
Yes.
have that concrete, tangible, then we don't have to think about it. How much more free time and energy and space in our thoughts and emotion can we focus on our amazing calling? You know?
Yes. Exactly.
So that was
Exactly.
beautiful. Okay. Secret number. I want to say they're secrets because I feel like they're secrets. They're simple steps, yes. But these you're giving us keys to the abundance here, you know?
Keys to the kingdom here.
Keys to the kingdom. Yes, amen. Okay. What's number 4?
Make your money work for you. So you want to have some money in savings, right? But you don't want to just have money sitting there doing nothing, earning nothing, right? So you want to make your money work for you. And there are safe places to put it. Like I said, one way is a life insurance policy where your money can only grow, you never lose a penny. and it's all tax-free, but there are safe investments that you can invest in, where you're going to get a good return on your investment, or even money market accounts. You can just Google what is the highest earning savings account or money market account and put your money in there. Don't let it just sit around earning zero. You know what I mean? But you want to keep some liquid for those unexpected expenses, but don't let it all just, I have a client that has like $100,000 in their savings account. I'm like, why? Here's a better place to put it over here where you can get a 500% return in like 5 to 7 months. So let's do some of that over here. You know what I mean?
Let's
That
let
kind
it grow and work. And,
Yes,
oh, I
yes,
love that. I
yes.
love it. Let it go and let it grow. Oh,
Let it
so
grow.
good. Okay. Step number 5.
Step number 5 is, now that you've got your money working for you, you've got your protection in place, you've got your budget, you're saving some money. Now we don't want someone to come along and steal it all from under you. So you want to
Okay.
protect your identity. Number one, identity theft happens every 3 seconds, and it is a nightmare to try to get out of. So I have LifeLock. Like I said, I practice what I preach. And I also hear, if you don't want an extra bill and you don't want to have a credit monitoring service, there are some credit bureaus that will monitor it for free. But a very easy way to protect yourself is put a freeze on your credit on all 3 bureaus. It's free to do. And that way, if your credit's frozen, no one can apply for credit in your name.
So brilliant. Oh my goodness. So
And
brilliant.
simple, right? It's a very simple step. But, and so I have credit freezes. Again, I practice what I preach. So I've frozen our credit for my husband and I on all 3 bureaus. And even if I want to apply for credit, I have to undo the freeze. So no one can pull your credit
That's so
or
great.
do anything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the thing that's nice about a credit monitoring service is, if somebody does something or applies for credit, you get notified immediately if somebody applies for credit. Even when I'm applying for credit, they will say, hey, is this you? Did you do this? And I mean, instantly. So I do highly recommend something like that. But if you can't, or you don't want just one more monthly bill, at least freeze your credit. And something else too that's going on is people are stealing houses right from under you, because they do a quick claim deed, they forge your name on it, they forge a notary stamp on it, they go down to your county office, and they just stole your house.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
And
go ahead.
well, one of the things I was thinking, especially because we have a lot of digital currency, and a lot of times with all these different things, like especially that could be, we may not be paying attention. So I feel like a good service like this will help free us up again for more creation and expansion and
Yes,
entrepreneurship fun.
yes. And don't, because if your identity gets stolen, you can write your business off, because that's going to be your full-time job for like the next year, trying to get out from under that mess.
So good.
So one way to protect your home is, you can put it in a living trust. And if it's inside a trust, it can't be stolen. So that's
So
another
good.
way to
Living
protect
trust.
yourself against that. Because if somebody does this, and there's a monitoring service called HomeTitleLock.com, and I don't get anything for, plugging LifeLock or Home Title Lock or anything. I just want people to know that there are these resources out there to prevent it, because I always say it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And in these
Yes.
circumstances, there aren't do-overs. You don't get to go back and go, well, I meant to protect my identity before it got stolen, and somebody ran up $20,000 in credit card bills on me, or that kind of thing. Or, what the reason they want to steal your home is because they take out home equity lines against the equity in your home, which is now 100%, because they just stole it out from under you. So there's no longer a mortgage on it. But 60 to 90 days later, you start getting foreclosure notices, or you're in default, and this, on your home equity line. And when you had no idea someone had even done that.
Oh my goodness. It's
Yeah.
so interesting. These are so profound. I want to hear, or I want to share, I'm going to recap these. And for those of you who are listening, I want to hear which one of these 5 simple steps spoke mostly to you. Number 1, protect yourself. Number 2, pay yourself first. Number 3, budget. And number 4, make your money work for you. Or number 5, your identity protection. These are some powerful steps here, Wendy. Oh my goodness. And then what comes to me is that it feels like solid stability, congruency in financial security, total financial freedom.
Yes. Yeah.
Goodness, that's why they call you the financial lion. Wow, Wendy. Well, how can we continue? How can our audience continue to get to know you? Do you have a free gift for us? Like, I want them to be able to connect with you, to be able to learn more about them and maybe even work with you in the future.
I do. I do. I have a VIP gift for your audience, and it is a 2-hour deep dive. And we'll spend some time just getting to know each other. And someone, I did an interview yesterday for my Wealth and Wisdom show, and they called me the fun financial lion because they did a study and they found that people would rather have a root canal than talk to a financial professional. So I promise you, it's not going to be like a root canal talking to me. You can see that I'm fun. I enjoy what I do. And I'm not going to poke and prod or, go into anything that you don't want to talk about or anything like that. But we'll get to know each other and we'll just see how I can help you and see what your challenges are, what your goals are, and see what financial vehicles we can put you in to get you there faster and as efficiently as possible. And
Oh
I'm
my
known for
goodness.
making people into multimillionaires. So if you want to see if you can be one, get on my calendar.
Yes, we were going to make sure we put that link in the show notes. So you're going to want to click on that today so you can schedule your time with Wendy. And
Yeah.
oh, what a beautiful gift, Wendy. Thank you so much for
You're
being able
welcome
to
so
give that to
much.
us.
You're welcome.
Now, based on everything that you shared with us, what would be the biggest takeaway, biggest thing that you want to leave us with today?
Well, you know what? Here's something else I always say. Life doesn't come with a remote control. You've got to get up and change it yourself. And there is no time like today to do exactly that. And some of these steps were free. Like I said, freezing your credit, that's free. You know what I mean? You can do that today. Protecting your identity. You can do that today.
Nice.
There are things that you can do today that will improve your life significantly and at least free up some of that gray matter for the creativity that you need to run your business and to fulfill your calling and your purpose here on this planet.
Oh my goodness, Wendy, thank you so much for sharing that. Everyone who's listening in Another Level Living Land, let this message marinate into your mind, body, and soul all weekend and beyond. Go ahead and take action and book your time with Wendy. What an amazing gift. VIP stands for very important person, and you are a very important person, and your business has a very important mission. So let's create that peace on all sides, get that financial stability, and step into taking these awesome, simple, super simple steps. You mentioned they
Yeah.
were simple, but they're
Yeah.
totally simple.
Creating a budget is free.
Yes. Wendy, thank you so much for blessing us with your wisdom and being able to be with us today. I'm just so grateful for you. And I'm so excited because this message is something that is so needed, especially in this time. Let's break free from all of the mental and emotional stress and monkeys about finances, create that stability. So therefore you can really take your freedom to another level. So thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everyone in Another Level Living Land, make sure that you put your biggest takeaway and your comments in the chat below. We want to hear your wisdom too. And the sharing is caring. So if you were given this message of inspiration and positivity and encouragement to create your financial freedom and future, go ahead and share this message out with other people and give them that gift as well, because now is the time for us to step into our full light, shine like the lighthouse leader that we are, and just be our amazing, authentic, awesome self and enjoy this beautiful flow of giving and receiving energy. Thank you so much for sharing with your time today, Wendy. All right, we'll see
Oh,
you
thanks
again.
so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. We got to have you back again. This was so good.
Oh, I would love that.
Awesome. All right, everyone, another level living land. Look forward to seeing you again next week and have an amazing rest of the day. Bye.